Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to the channel of Unmasked, where we have real conversations about real issues and we just have real talk. And also, this channel is to not only have the talk, but to also provide you with inspiration, education, and also to provide you with resources so that you can go to your purpose fulfilled and free, right? So welcome. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're able to. I was about to say describe. Oh my gosh. Sometimes you have to kind of laugh at yourself when you're trying to talk, right? So I am so grateful that on yesterday we celebrated Resurrection Sunday. And what a time of reflection that I was able to think about when Jesus had he went through a lot to get to where he was, right? When I say he went through a lot, when people talk about betrayal, he experienced that. Rocks thrown at him, experienced that. His friends that he thought that were his crew betrayed him, lied, said they didn't have any connection with him. He had dealt with moments of loneliness. There were moments and times wherein he got frustrated and was like, God, how much longer do I have to be here with you all? Then, whenever he was at that low place, that he was in that Garden of Gethsemane because he knew what he was about to have to go through, and he was toiling with that thing. He was like, Lord, if it's possible for any other way to let this cup pass from me. So he also dealt with that point of desperation, of wanting to say, God, but nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. So he was saying, nevertheless, even in those situations, even in the times that I feel like I'm broken, I'm even at this place that I know what things are about to happen and what I'm about to experience, but he kept a nevertheless. A nevertheless. And so I just want to just give some encouragement because I shared on Saturday about, we deal with things and situations, and sometimes, and one thing about whenever people get mentored by me, counseled by me, or whatever that they get from me, I'm always open with them and let them know that there will always be times where you're going to have moments of you're going to have those Garden of Gethsemane moments. You're going to have those moments wherein you're going to feel like things have gotten too much. You're going to have those moments where you're going to say, God, can you just give someone else to do it? You're going to have those moments wherein you feel alone, because when you go back and you read that story of how when Jesus was going through that situation and he knew that, okay, I had to pass over and I know this is going to be my last thing that I'm going to experience. And then, he asked his friends, his people, the disciples that have been with him, can you pray with me? And when he came back, they will sleep. Listen, do you know that many people that you feel like were supposed to be there for you, were supposed to have your back, but they went to sleep on your situation? They went to sleep when you were asking them to be there for you. They didn't respond to that text when you have been there for them, when you have imparted to them, you have given to them, you have given your all. But it seems as though that when you need that help and the tables are turned and you're asking for one simple request, you're seeking some people to give some things back, and you're saying, I give so much to people, and I'm a person that's a giver. I'm a person that I give so much to people all time and time again. I give, I sacrifice, I give so much to people. But it seems as though that when I'm giving, that as when Jesus came out and he said, will you pray with me for 1 hour? And they will sleep. That Garden of Gethsemane is a lonely place. And I just want to, bring out, because We don't understand sometimes when we talk about, because many a times whenever we hear about these situations, and we talk about things, and we always talk about the things of when Jesus went to the cross, and he died, he rose again, and all this stuff, whatever. But he was toiling with some things in the Garden of Gethsemane. He was dealing with some things. He was at a place trying to figure out, God, what in the world? I know I was assigned to do this. I know that I came as a sacrifice, but the people that I thought that would pray with me, they're asleep. And I'm here in this place and I'm alone and I am struggling. I know that I'm going to go through some pain. I know that I'm going to go through some situations. I know now I know that my boy Peter, who has been with me, he has been with me through the struggle. He has been with me through all. He has seen me, know me, but he's going to deny me. Then I have Judas, who is also my boy, and he's there. But guess what he did? He's the one who betrayed me. We have to understand one thing that's gonna be a major growth whenever we deal with relationships is that people come for two reasons, for a season and a reason. And even though Judas betrayed, Judas still did not stop his purpose. And even though Peter denied, it still did not stop his purpose. And where we get confused sometimes is that we sometimes give the people, the Judases, the Peters, and then even the people who went to sleep. When he asked them, "Can you pray with me?" and they going to sleep. Even those people cannot stop your purpose. Only you. Only you. You have that choice. They may have been a factor in your life, but they're not the major factor. They may have been a factor in your life. They may have been some places wherein they have loved you when you were at a low point. They may have encouraged you, but they were for just that season and that reason. And we have to be at a place that when the seasons change, that we have to be prepared to go with the flow. Can you imagine that you are giving your life as a sacrifice to come down here to deal with people that you know that's not really going to like you like that, but yet you're here for a purpose. You're healing, you're doing all this deliverance, you're doing all of these things. And yet, when you need someone to pray with you, when you needed your people to be there for you, you're in that place of the Garden of Gethsemane. You're by yourself. When you are feeling like that, I just want to encourage you that as Jesus said, nevertheless, he said, listen, when he went by that stone, and when he went to that place, he said in Luke, the 22nd chapter, I'm going to the 42nd verse, and I'm reading the NIV version. He said, Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me. Yet not my will, yet not my will, but yours be done. And then you know what happened after that? An angel came and appeared to him. And then in verse 44, in anguish, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was like drips of blood falling to the ground. That means that he was dealing with some anguish, some stuff, right? We deal with some stuff to the point wherein our sweat may not have turned to blood. That when it's to a point wherein your sweat begins to turn into blood, it is a medical condition wherein you begin to deal with real severe stress in your body and anguish. And there are not many people that has been proven study-wise, you can research it, wherein people have dealt with so much anguish that their sweat begins to turn to blood. So Jesus was at a place where he was so broken. He was at a place where he was toiling with what he knew was coming with him. He was at a place where he was alone. He was at a place where he felt some despair. He was at a place where he knew that he had a purpose in him to fulfill. And this was the assignment that he knew that he had to cross over, as I talked about on Saturday. But now he's at that breaking point wherein I'm going to make a choice to either break down or to break through. Whew. Either I'm going to break down or I'm going to break through. But he said, nevertheless, but yet, I want to encourage someone who is in that place of a Garden of Gethsemane. You are at that place where you want to give up. You're at that place where you have been in tears. You're at that place where you're driving to work and you have been crying. You're driving and you're saying, God, let this cup pass. God, let this depression pass. God, let this anxiety pass. God, can you let this hurt pass? God, can you let this trauma pass? I just want to encourage you on today to not break down, but to break through. Oh my gosh. I spoke on Saturday about how, whenever you are at that place and you are at that breaking point, it seems like unusual situations begin to come your way. And as I've been at this place of transition and at this place, I've been seeking God a little deeper, that I've been at a place where I'm saying, God, I trust you, that I just been saying yes. It has not made sense, but I just gave him a yes. And it seems as I have been trying to take that step, that those little things been coming in my mind. You're not good enough. Nobody wants to hear from you. Why you want to do that? Just sit back and get comfortable. You're good where you are now. All of these things try to come in the ear. And I can just only imagine of when you are trying to go and you have this in your ear saying, don't do that. You're not good enough. You're not going to make it. Why are you trying to do that? Why are you even doing this? Go on. Nobody cares about you. No one really loves you. No one loves you. Why are you trying to do this? Your daddy didn't love you. He already told you weren't good enough. The teacher told you weren't good enough. You're in that place of Garden of Gethsemane, just like Jesus, where you're toiling and you want to break down. But I just want to encourage you to not break down, but to break through. That you keep, as Jesus said, nevertheless, but yet, God, let your will be done in my life. I know what Judas is going to do. I know how Peter's going to betray me. And he's going to say that he didn't even know me. When he was like, I will be with you. He was the one who cut off the ear of the soldier and was saying he was going to be my boy. He's supposed to be down with me. I say, he's supposed to be down for me. He's supposed to be my boy. But I know that he's going to betray me. I know that he's going to do me wrong. I already know these things. And then the people that I asked to pray with me, They sleep. They not even interceding. They not even praying for me. I need someone, as I have given to so much, how many people I have healed, how many people that I have given to, how many people that I have sacrificed and given, but yet they have put an egg on me. Oh my gosh. Your purpose is not a community thing. It's an I thing. Oh my gosh, that's just dropped to me. And that just strengthened me because it's not a community thing, it's an I thing. I have to do this. I have to walk this thing out. Yes, it's good to have the support. Yes, it's good to have the people to come in and encourage you, but it's an I thing. It's a me thing that I have to fulfill this thing and this assignment. I have to walk towards this purpose. Depression is trying to come up against me, but it's up for me to walk it out. Anxiety is trying to come up against me, but it's up to me to walk this thing out. I have been molested. I have been betrayed, but it's up to me to say, but yet, nevertheless, I have got to walk this thing out. I have to break this cycle. No longer will I have generational curses haunting me. No longer will I allow the thoughts and the betrayal that I have experienced in my past to determine what my future is going to be. I am not going to break down, but I am going to break through. Toiling. Jesus was toiling to the point that his sweat turned into blood. I can't even say what this name is, but blood sweating is called hematohydrosis. I don't even know if I said it right. It says it's when people suffer from extreme levels of stress. Hematohydrosis. Hematohydrosis is when people are dealing with extreme levels of stress. That's where he was. And the people that were supposed to be there, where are they? But an angel came and ministered to him. God is sending me as an angel on tonight for you, to say to you to not break down, but to break through. This is not the end of your story. You no longer have to fulfill yourself with a man. You no longer have to fulfill yourself with another woman. You no longer have to fill yourself with buying the next car, the next pair of shoes. You no longer have to fill yourself with going in debt, trying to keep up with the Joneses. You no longer have to fill yourself with alcohol. You no longer have to fill yourself with masturbating. You no longer have to fill yourself with watching porn. I say to you to allow Holy Spirit to minister to you, to allow yourself to have a moment to decompress, to allow yourself to have that moment to just be, to remind yourself that you were created for a purpose and a plan, to remind yourself that you are still here for a reason, to remind yourself that you matter, to remind yourself that you were not created as junk, to remind yourself that when God crafted you, he crafted a special design, and that there, even like whenever they do those little copies and they have copies and the copy does not look like the original, that God created you as an original design, and that when he blew breath into you, that before your mother and your father even got together, that he knew that you are going to go through that situation, but he said that I know that you're going to go through that, but I have put within you the ability to overcome. I just need for you to tap in to the strength that is within you. I need for you to utilize resources that is available. I need for you to connect and know that this is not the time to break down, but this is the time for you to say, nevertheless, let your will be done in my life, God. Nevertheless, while I'm crying through these tears, I'm going to realize and know I'm going to pick up the pieces in my life. I don't care if I'm dealing with divorce. I don't care if I'm dealing with a separation. I don't care if I'm dealing with my child that sees as though that they don't even love me anymore. I don't care if I'm in this relationship and I feel like they're not loving me. I'm going to choose to love on me because it's a me thing and it's not for the community, but it's for me. It's not for my friends. It's not for my family. I don't care if I've been the black sheep, but I know that I have a father who loves me and I am not a black sheep. I am not a person who has just thrown away. I am loved by God. I want to serve a reminder to you that you are loved by God. This is just a time of encouragement for you. I just want to tell you, I want to look and tell you, you are loved. When I say that there is no greater love, I want to tell you that there is no greater. And I want you to accept that. You were supposed to be different. You are not supposed to be the woman that you see on social media that use these filters, like people using these AI filters. You know that's not you. People were doing artificial intelligence before artificial intelligence even came around. People were doing AI daily, showing up, not really themselves, not really showing their true selves. Don't be fooled by the things you see. People been doing AI since they were born. This was before all of this. You are supposed to be different. You are supposed to stand out. You're supposed to be quirky. You're supposed to be that extra person. That part of that personality that you're trying to throw away is what God created for you to be different. Accept that about you. Nevertheless, you're feeling lonely. I can only imagine. I know. Single woman living by herself in COVID, dealing with depression, dealing with all of those things, relationship issues, coming out of all of that, not feeling good enough. But I had to go through the process of saying, no, 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 no. Just because they dropped the ball does not mean that I'm not still the catch. That's their loss and my gain because God protected. They were there for a season and a reason, and the season was up. And we try sometimes to hold on, sometimes in certain situations and seasons when it's time to shift. That's a whole nother segment to talk about. So I just say to you, I'm going to close tonight to just remind you, because we talk about the cross, we talk about all of those things, but we never really talk about when Jesus, yes, he was God, but he also came in flesh. We talk about those things, but he stayed committed, even in that frustration, even in the betrayal, all of that. He still said, nevertheless, but yet, let your will be done in my life because I got a greater purpose, because it's a me thing. It's not for my disciples. It's not for my people. It's not for Michelle. It's for you. You were supposed to be different. You are supposed to be created specifically for a particular assignment. It's not for all to be enjoyed. Let them go. Forgive. Allow yourself to be. Love on you. Do not break down, but I encourage you as my sister, as my brother to break through. It's gonna come, but I promise you, turn the page. You're gonna feel those moments. You're gonna feel this stress. You're gonna feel this anxiety, but I encourage you to break through. Turn the page. You got this. No longer be bound by your past. The Peters may have done you wrong. Johnny, Bonquisha may have not done you right. Mom, dad may have betrayed you. Your boss may have made you feel less than. But no, do the work in here. You may be at a place you're toiling. You may feel like you're alone. You have been given to so many people, especially us givers. We give. And you're wondering, do they even care? You have one who cares. You're not alone. You feel alone, but you're not alone. So continue to go forward. Continue to walk towards your purpose. Do not allow the outside factors determine the inside job that's for you to do. All right. You all have a blessed night, rest of the week. I speak blessings over you, and I look forward to connecting with you all on Unmasked on next week. And as always, as I end on every time, today is the day that you can begin a new start. Today, not a New Year's resolution, but today is a day that you can begin to change and shift your life. And as always, walk in purpose. Have a good night.